us, how did this all start? I think you were like only 7, is that right?
Well, I really started making my show when I was 8. When I was 7, I went to the San Mateo Maker Faire and was really, really, really inspired. Right as I came back, I learned how to solder with my dad.
Wow, 7 years old and she learns how to solder. I don't think I did that till I was in my 20s. So you came back and you learned how to solder, and tell me a little bit more about that. What happened next?
Well, we started doing even more making things and getting into the maker community. We started doing projects from makeprojects.com. We started doing a whole bunch of making.
That sounds really cool. Mm-hmm. What did you like to make best?
Well,
what was your
I
favorite
loved
thing?
using the hot glue gun. Yes.
I always burn myself on that.
I know, yeah. But I loved soldering like badges with LED glowing eyes. They have that at Maker Faire. But I was doing very simple, easy things so I wouldn't get too overwhelmed.
So when you went from, being a participant and going to the Maker Faire, then something, I guess, started or made you start to decide that you were going to make your own web show?
Yes.
And you're 9?
Well, I'm 8. I started when I was 8.
Excuse me, I wouldn't want to
me
make you too old.
Me and my dad decided we wanted to do something during the summer that was fun, and he gave me the idea of maybe doing a show on YouTube. And we did the Drawdio first, and we went back to Maker Faire and gave out cards and showed it off. It's like a big show and tell.
Yeah, I've been to the Maker Faire, but I bet a lot of people here haven't. So maybe you could tell us a little bit of what it's like going to the Maker Faire. What happens there? What do you see?
Well, it's like a huge fair, and a whole bunch of makers come, and they show off what they've made. It's a huge show and tell. There's fire art, there's glass makers, there's welders, there's any type of maker you can imagine.
Did you see the R2-D2 this year?
Yes.
The robot?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I was so
fascinated. They had like 3 of those. They were all going around, and the little kids were chasing them. It was really fun.
So you go to Maker Faire, and this is your 2nd year, and you're giving out business cards?
Yes.
And you're 8 still?
Yes, I'm still 8.
Hey.
And we're going around, and we visit like really cool people that I'm like they're my hero, and I give them cards. And we started getting more viewers than we ever imagined. And we loved making the shows, so we made a 2nd and a 3rd, and we kept on going.
And what's the name of your show?
Sylvia's Super Awesome Maker Show. Our website is called Sylvia's Show.
Just in case you wanted to go. I have a feeling you're going to have a few more hits after this talk. Be prepared. So you have this website up. People are coming to it. And is it like, 1,000 people, 100 people, or?
Well, I haven't been counting since I've been really busy, but we have all the episodes all there, and
it's like 1 million people?
Well, yeah, pretty much 1 million viewers on all the episodes. I have about 20 episodes. They range from really being really crafty to really techy and soldering.
Wow. Do you think you could help me with our TEDx San Jose Facebook page? Because we only have about 2,000 viewers. So I need your help.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you've got this show up, and you have all these different viewers. And what do you think you've learned from the experience?
Well, I learned that I really want to inspire kids all around the world to get out there and make something. I say that at the end of every show, get out there and make something, or take advantage of summer and do something.
So what happens for you during summer? Like, what was the first summer, like after you went to the Maker Faire? Did it play an important part? Like you said, first of all, that your dad and you decided after the Maker Faire that you would taught how to solder, and then you decided to make a web show at 8 years old. Like, every dad says that, right? Is that true?
Yeah.
Do your friends' dads do that too?
No, they do not do that.
Okay, so do your friends, what do they do during the summer versus what you do during the summer?
Well, what I do during the summer is go to Maker Fairs and try and go to the more Maker Fairs, like the New York Maker Faire and the Kansas City, and on all different types of Maker Fairs.
So you've got something here on your lap. Can you share what this is about?
So the company makes a magazine, and they invited me to be on the cover. It's 3 3D. It's a special issue, and it has a whole bunch of really fun projects that you can do inside. I also have a whole bunch of copies that if you come over to the lunch table, you may be able to get some copies.
Awesome. So, this is a very unusual situation. You're not, the average 8, 9, 10, or 11-year-old. What was hard?
Well, when I was making my show and I was saying the lines to the camera, sorry, the camera, and I messed up, I had to restart the whole entire line, but I still kept going and I persevered. That was really frustrating for me, and I got overwhelmed, but I still did good.
So what do you enjoy most about the show? Like, what if you had to say one thing that, this is my favorite thing?
My favorite thing during the show is to make the thing that we're doing. Like, sometimes we do time lapses where we put a camera sort of to the side and it takes multiple pictures for a number of seconds, and I make it and it looks like I'm doing it real fast. But I really, really love making it.
And what's the favorite thing you've ever made?
Besides the show, we were taking an RC truck and hacking it so we would so it would go somewhere and pick up the mail or something, and then come back to home base without controlling it all by itself. It's really cool.
Wow. So tell me, what's a hacker truck, or I'm not quite sure if I understood that.
Hacking is taking something apart and doing something different with it.
So there's their own language for makers, huh?
Sort of.
Okay. If you were to look back on the whole experience and you were to give some people that maybe was inspired with you something that they maybe want to do something that was hard, what advice would you give them?
Well, to get out there and make something, and failure is always an option. Adam Savage, I've met numerous times at the Maker Faire. He says on his show, Mythbusters, failure is always an option. So whenever you're doing a project, you're always going to fail in some part during the project. Or maybe not. Maybe you'll have a great success.
So I've heard that you have something that you've bought that is kind of a surprise, and you want to tell us about it?
Yes. At lunch, I'm going to be sitting at a table, and if you come over, there's some copies, and maybe I'll give you a kit.
What kind of a kit?
So there's some soldering kits, there's Arduino starters, and Raspberry Pi starters. I know it's a weird name. It's like a computer, same as the Arduino. And there's some spin bots with markers, and it spins around, and it makes these really cool spin art.
Ooh,
it's really fun.
I want one of these.
Yeah, it's cool.